right.
All right.
So I'm going to start with a rapid fire. You are going to answer as if you are a dog. Here we go. All right. Walks or parks?
Parks.
Peanut butter or carrots?
Peanut butter.
Squirrels or lizards?
Squirrels.
Squeaky toy or bone?
Squeaky toy.
Dog bed or human bed?
Human bed.
Swimmer or sunbather?
Swimmer.
Independent or mischievous?
Independent.
Belly rubs or treats?
Belly rubs.
Belly rubs. You're a belly rub guy. All right. Love it. Let's get down to business. So first, if you want to start by telling me your name and your business name.
I am Aaron Tolman, and I'm the owner of Sit Bean Sit, the Woodlands, Spring and Conroe.
Aaron, what do you love most about being a dog trainer?
I love the change that we get to see. And so the change in the dog, the change in the client's life, we joke, but I really feel like we've saved some marriages. We've, improved households where there was all this tension and conflict before. Often, when we start with a dog, there's some in the household who may want to get rid of the dog. There's some who want to keep the dog. So we get to ease all that tension and conflict, which I really enjoy.
Absolutely. Seeing that light at the end of the tunnel is a great feeling.
Yep.
What advice would you give to a new dog trainer starting out?
I think for me, the biggest thing I would change getting into it was just have more confidence. I felt like it took me a good 3 years to feel like I knew what I was doing, when in actuality, I always knew what I was doing. I just didn't have that confidence, and having that confidence really helps.
That's some great advice. Love it. So tell me about your craziest experience as a dog trainer.
It's appropriate for this. Ooh.
Just shoot.
The one I'm thinking of, it was a very nice guy who was in his 40s, who lived with his parents, who were probably in their late 60s. And I went and did a house lesson. Their house was decorated with, he drew erotic alien paintings. His parents' house was decorated with those. And it was very interesting, let's say.
How was the dog? Were you able to get the dog trained without all the distractions?
Yep, the dog was great. The family was great, but it was one of the last clients I expected to see that in. We've had some strange clients, and I would never expect this client to have that. And so very nice neighborhood, very nice people, soft-spoken, but they had alien porn everywhere in their house. So.
They say the dogs are the ones that are distracted, but really is it the human?
Yep.
Kept you on your toes for that one for sure.
Yep.
All right, that's funny. Okay, so tell me about your most recent success.
The lesson I just finished up, we just sent a dog home who it's been attacking the owner. And so anytime the dog gets a sock, a towel or something, the owner can't take it, and if she gets too close, the dog will attack her. We've been working with her. The dog just came and spent a week with us and doing absolutely fantastic.
Wow, that's great. What makes you different from other dog trainers?
I get asked that a lot from clients when they're doing evaluations and stuff, and I always tell them I don't know. I don't really follow other dog trainers outside of Sit Me and Sit or look at what they're doing or compare myself. My goal is to be the best version of what I do and not try and match or mimic someone else. And so I feel like Sit Me and Sit really has it figured out. I think we have something that works. It works really well. And so I just want to keep focusing on improving me instead of worrying about what somebody else is doing.
What are the most common mistakes you notice pet owners making when in respect to disciplining their dogs, and what advice would you give to them?
Sure. I think one of the biggest is everybody knows what they don't want their dog to do, but we need to take it a step further and figure out what the correct answer looks like, because we're always telling our dogs what not to do. It's a terrible way to teach. And that's really what dog training is. We're teaching how we want the dog to respond in certain situations. If the dog's always jumping on you, most people are telling it no, off, down. I want to teach the dog to sit. And so tell it what it should be doing. I think that's the biggest mistake we all do, is we all know what we don't want our dog to do, but we need to take it a step further and figure out what the correct answer looks like.
When you're evaluating a dog, what do you determine, or how do you determine what program to place them in?
Really, I don't care what program they choose. We do private lessons, day and train, board and trains, and that's really more for the convenience of the owner. Very rarely do I feel like, okay, a dog needs to come stay with me. And the reason is so much of what we're doing is I actually prefer not to do board and trains, because it doesn't matter what I can get the dog to do. It only matters what the owner can get the dog to do at home. Often the dog's great for us, and then we have to train the owner. And I feel like with especially board and trains, we fall into this trap where they send the dog away and then, oh, my dog's trained and I don't have to do anything. My dog's trained now. And that's not the case. We need to learn, we need to reinforce that stuff and build it into our daily routine. So personally, I prefer the private lessons and the day and train, where we get to work with the owner and the dog, and then the owner gets to go home and practice it for a week. And then we get to build off it each week. Then we can see where they're having problems. And we do the same thing with board and trains. They all work, but more, I think we offer the variety for the convenience of owners sometimes.
I like that. I think that that it goes into play on how well of a trainer that you are. And what advice would you give somebody who's looking for dog training, but maybe hasn't found the right one yet?
I think the best thing is go see. We're big. Sit Me and Sit, Fred and Alfredo are always telling us talk is cheap. And so we're going to demo your dog. We're going to train with your dog and show you how your dog responds to it. Typically, we also pull out some of our dogs. And so you can see what you're getting, what training looks like, what you're able to do. Because so often I think a lot of people just have no idea what you can and can't do with dogs. And it's more than just beyond come, sit, and hey, my dog can hang out for several hours in a spot if I ask him to.
So what were your goals for 2021, and was Unleashed able to help you out with any of those goals?
We wanted to improve sales, and again, we doubled them and we almost doubled them again. And Unleashed was a big part of that. The other big part that Unleashed was helpful in is organization. So before, I tried different softwares and systems and Google spreadsheets to track everything, just trying to stay organized. It was a little bit of a mess, and it was a mess when we were slower. And so, the growth that we've had, the software that we use makes it so easy, and it automates so much of everything. It saves me hours a week where I can be training dogs instead of trying to follow up on everything and keep everything organized.
Yeah, absolutely. You're able to help more people.
Yeah, and do the things I want to do instead of having to track and record and make sure we're following up. Now all that's done automatically. Appointments are confirmed automatically. As I move people through the different pipelines, it's sending messages automatically, following up. It made life so much easier. So as much as the marketing's been a huge impact, the software has just been just as impactful also.
Did your goals change after starting to work with us and maybe seeing what was possible?
Yeah. And so we had a goal of originally, doing 30,000 a month in sales. Mm-hmm. Our goal is now 60,000 a month in sales. Mm-hmm. And we're getting close to that goal. So
my last question for you is, what are your goals now then for 2022?
The big one I've been thinking about is how do we get better dogs? And so how do we produce better dogs? And even, right now we're updating our marketing videos, and I'm excited to do that because I look at the videos, which were awesome, but we're not the same trainers that we were 6-8 months ago when we made those videos. We've gotten better. How do we get better again this year is the question. How do we turn out better dogs? Our clients are happy. We're doing fantastic, but we always want to keep raising that bar. The big goal this year that we've been talking about is, what do we need to change to train better dogs for our clients?
I love it. I love seeing your guys' growth, and I'm excited for it. You guys sounds like you're pushing the boundaries to raise the bar higher and higher and higher. And that's where growth happens, is when you push those boundaries, and crazy stuff happens. So I'm super, super excited for you guys for this year and for everything that's to come with you guys. So yeah, thank you. I truly, truly appreciate your time today.